Thiruchitrambalam, Hara Hara Nama Parvati Padaye, Hara Hara Mahadeva, Sit Sabesa, Siva Sidambaram, Tenarude Sivane, Putri and Natavarkum Reva, Putri, Thiruchitrambalam, Edukum Makade in Tamil Chayula, in Adakum, in May, Namakarul, Saidida, Tadake, Indude, Talsevi, Nilmudi, Kadakalichai, Karutulirutuvam. உலகலாம் உணர்ந்தோதற்கரியவன் நிலவுலாவிய நிர்மலி வேணியன் அலகில் சோதியன் அம்பலத்து ஆடுவான் மலர் சிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவாம். சைவத்தின் மேற்சமயம் வேறிலை அதில் சார் சிவமாம் தெய்வத்தின் மேற் தெய்வம் இல்லனும் நான்மறைச் செம்பொருள் வாய்மை வைத்த திருத்தேவாரமும் திருவாசகமும் உய்வை தரச் செய்த நால்வர் பொற்றாள் எம்முயிர் துணையே. தில்லை வாழந்தனரை முதலாக சீர்படைத்த தொலையதாம் திருத்தொண்ட தொகையடியார் பதம் போற்றி ஒல்லையவர் புராணகரை உலகறிய விரித்து உரைத்த செல்வமலி குன்றத்தூர் செக்கிழாரடி போற்றி. ஆதாரமாகிய மாணிக்க வாசகர் பாதார விந்தம் பணிவோம். பண்டு செய்த தீதான பாவங்கள் எல்லாம் தீர்ந்து ஞானோதயம் வந்து கூட்டிடுமே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Dear devotees, welcome back to Periyapuranam Discourse series. Today we're here to think through the wonderful history of Ebiran Shri Naminanthiyadigal. Naminanthiyadigal is the last Nayanar of Thiruchitrambalam. Let me bow my head to the lotus feet of Thiruchitrambalam and also to the 57th Pontiff of Kunamatti Kalyanpuri Adina Sri Guruma Sannidhanam Sri Rajasarana Manikavasa Swami as well. By the grace of the Almighty Lord Shiva, let's go ahead and get started with the history of Naminanthiyadigal. Naminanthiyadigal was born in a town called Yemaperur, which is close to Thiruvarur district. Thiruvarur. Nayanar was a staunch devotee from day one. He had intense love for Shiva. He was worshipping the lotus feet of Lord Shiva and serving the devotees of Lord Shiva as always. And he had a special love for the Lord of Thiruvarur temple. So he used to come to Thiruvarur temple quite often to worship Thiruvarur Puchidamundar and also the Asaleshwarar of Thiruvarur, which is also called Araneri temple. So the temple of the Araneri temple is situated within the compound of Thiruvarur Puchidamundar temple. So within two temples, there's a temple within another temple, and both of them have got separate Tirupadigams, Tebara Padigams from Saint Thiruchitrambalam Prabhan and Thirunagar Swamigal, also from Nabiyaru Prabhan. So he came there. He was worshipping Lord Puchidamunda Peruman almost all day, and then he went to Aru Araneri, which is also called Aru Araneri, and the Lord name here is Asaleshwarar. So he went to Thiruvarur Araneri temple. It was close to evening, and it started to become dark, and the lamps were not lit in the temple. There was only one lamp outside the temple, and without much oil on it. And then Naminanthiyadigal wanted to go back to his place, Yemaperur, to bring some ghee, which we call in English, you can say butter. Ghee term, it's a kind of an oil that made out of cow butter. That's what we call it, ghee. So he wanted to go there and bring some ghee from his place, but it was too late. By the time he would come back, everything would have been dark. Ultimately, he didn't want that place to go dark. You cannot allow darkness in Shiva temple. So a true devotee will not allow that. So he decided, we will get ghee from any of the houses close to Thiruvarur temple. Then he went outside, and then he saw a house at some distance. He went over there And then he knocked the door, and they came out, and then it was a big surprise. They didn't seem to be saved. They, they belonged to a different religion, external religion. But still, he asked them if they could give him some ghee to light the lamps in the temple. And but the house was fully occupied by other religions who don't believe in Shaivism. They mocked at him and said, "Oh, you're looking for ghee to light the lamps in Shiva temple. Your God has a burning fire in his hand," sarcastically. "Why do you need one more lamp there? And if you must have a lamp, you want to lit the lamp, why don't you just pour the water from the pond and light those lamps? That's a better way of doing it." They just made fun of him and insulted him. And Nayanar felt really, really ashamed and insulted. And they did. They insulted Shaivism, not just Nayanar, and also the Lord. He prayed to Lord Shiva, "Lord, I'm just trying to serve you, but I'm just getting insulted by the people who do, from external religions." Then Thiruvarur Puttinakonda, a voice heard on the sky as a reedy. He said, "Naminanthi, go ahead, take the water from Sangutirtham and light the lamps with the water of Sangutirtham. And it will burn as brightly as if those are filled with ghee." Naina felt very happy. Then he fetched some water from Sangutirtham. Sangutirtham is very close to Devasari in Thiruchitrambalam, where Sri Naminanthiyadigal sang Thiruchitrambalam. He took some water from the Sangutirtham, and then he trimmed the wicks and lit the lamps, pouring the water from Sangutirtham. The lamp burned brightly, as if filled with oil. What a miracle! And then the external religion people, they got shocked, surprised. And then the Jainism came to an end in due course of time. Shaivism thrived as before. Naminanthiyadigal continued to do his services in Bachirakonda temple. And one fine day, the king of Chola Nadu made Naminanthiyadigal as in charge of the temple, and all the festivals as well. So ever since Naminanthiyadigal took over the administration of temple, the festivals were celebrated with great jubilation. Panguni Uttaram, very, very auspicious festival for Shaivis, was celebrated in a very grand scale, sparing no expenses. Money and gold needed for the celebration just got poured in from all places, and Dyagesar Murti of Thiruvarur, who came from Devaloka, he would be made to visit Manali, a special Utchava, during that festival. So people from all the places and belonging to different communities would participate in the celebrations as Shiva devotees. Naminanthiyadigal was also prized by the great saint Swamigal in his Devara hymns. Swamigal says, "ஆராய்ந்து அடித்தொண்டர் ஆணிப்பொன் ஆரூர் அகத்தடக்கி பாரூர் பரிபத்தம் பங்குனி உத்திரம் பார்படுத்தான் நாரூர் நறுமலர் நாதனடித்தொண்டன் நம்பினந்தி நீராள் திருவிளக்கிட்டமை நீள்நாடறிமன்றே." The whole world knows that Naminanthiyadigal lit the lamp by using the water from Sangatirtham. Niral Thiruvilakkittamai. He lit the lamp using water. And then he conducted festivals with great jubilation. Panguni Uttaram celebrated in a grand scale. The Parur Parivattam Panguni Uttiram Parvaduttam. Anipon. So it's Araindu Aditondar Anipon. Anipon is a special term used in Tamil language. It's called Anipon means a high quality comparative gold that is used to estimate the quality of another gold. So Tondarku Ani, that means Lord Shiva will estimate the quality of love of a devotee by comparing the love of Naminanthiyadigal. That's what it means. Tondarku Ani. Araindu Adi Tondar Ani Pon Aru Agatadaki. So he was prized like that by the great Upper Swami. Okay. Then when he was prized by Upper Swamigal like this, what else can we say? So Naminanthi Nayanar conducted this festival. People from all over the places participated, and the festival held in Thiruvarur and Manali. After returning home, he did not wish to enter his house. He had a feeling that his purity has been defiled by mingling with other devotees. Because when you participate in a function, like whether it is a car festival or Brahmotsava, you will touch other devotees, Shiva devotees. They'll be worshipping. You go to Chidambaram through Ardra festival, you'll be touching thousands, hundreds of devotees when you walk through the street. So similarly, he mingled freely with people of all other communities, all are Shiva devotees. So he felt that um, his purity has been defiled. So he needs to take bath to enter his home. So he sat outside his home and told his wife to prepare hot water for his bath. And with the grace of Lord Shiva, he just dozed off before the water got heated and had a strange dream. Lord Shiva came in his dream, Lord appeared in his dream and said, Naminanthi, you will see it. Don't worry about your purity. You have not lost your purity by mingling with my devotees. All the people in living in Thiruvarur are my Shivaganas. They have reserved mukti. They are born to attain mukti. That's why Sivam also said, Thiruvarur Pirandargal Ellarkum Mudiyen. We'll talk about that later in Periyapuranam. So don't worry about becoming impure by having physical contact with them. They're all Shivaganas. Tomorrow you go to Thiruvarur and you will see them all of you will see them all as Shivaganas. Then he disappeared. Then Nayanar woke up from his sleep. Then he realized he made a big mistake by thinking he's lost his purity by mingling with Shiva devotees. When his wife said, hot water ready for you to take bath, he said, no, I'm not going to take bath. No need. No need. I'll come inside the home. And he entered his home. He went to sleep without taking bath because Lord Shiva already made it clear he didn't have to do it. And the next day, he took bath, smeared himself with the holy ash, and went to Thiruvarur with a lot of excitement. And then the moment he entered Thiruvarur, he set his eyes, he could see only Sivaganas. He saw every single person living in Thiruvarur as Shivaganas in Kailash. They were all adorned by the holy ash and looked very attractive and respectable. And then Naminanthi Nayanar fell down on the ground and paid his respect to all the people of Thiruvarur. And then through all the people throughout changed back and became a normal human being now. Because Shiva just showed him they're all Shivaganas. Naminanthiyadigal was so happy to see that. And then he thanked the Lord of Thiruvarur. And then Naminanthiyadigal also changed his residence from Emaperu to Thiruvarur. He shifted his family. He continued to serve Lord Puchinagunde, Perumal, and Asaleshwarar, and also Shiva devotees as before, until he merged with the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. And fine day, Naminanthiyadigal completely got merged with the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. So that's all about Emberman Naminanthiyadigal Puranam. So Having completed Naminanthiyadigal Puranam, we also completed the Thiruchitrambalam section. The next section is Bambara Varivandu Sarkar. We're going to talk about the history of the great saint Thiruchitrambalam Swami. This may go for 5, 6, 5 or even 8 classes. I don't know. So stay tuned. We'll talk to you all again with Thiruchitrambalam Swami from Thiruchitrambalam. என்றும் இன்பம் பெருகும் இயல்பினால் ஒன்று காதலித்து உள்ளமும் ஒன்கிடமன்றுளார் அடியார் அவர் வான்புகழ் நின்றது எங்கும் நிலவி உலகலாம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஹர ஹர நம பார்வதி பதையே ஹர ஹர மகாதேவா. சிற்சவேசா சிவசிதம்பரம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் நிறைவா போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். எம்பிரான் நமினந்தியடிகள் மலரடிகள் போற்றி போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.